Plan for this video is to do a bunch of maintenance. It comes with living on a homestead in a pretty remote place that you just have a lot of machines that run on engines, and they all take a bit of maintenance and a lot of gas for that matter. For instance, we have 3 snow machines over there. We got the one nice new one that we use primarily, and then we have a backup in case that one goes down for any reason, and then we have one for parts that would match mostly with the backup. We've got our sawmill. We have 5 chainsaws, 3 generators, the side-by-side, our truck. I'm sure there's things I'm not thinking of either. So mostly all we have to do for maintenance on these is we've got to do oil changes on most everything. That doesn't include the chainsaws because the oil runs through with the gas, of course. And as for the generators, our big one that we had actually died. The stator went out on it. I did a lot of testing on it to see what we could do to get it working, but yeah, the stator went out, so it's not worth fixing that. So we got a brand new large generator, and no need to do any maintenance on that yet because it is pretty new. And then we've got our small one, which is currently in pieces. I'm not sure if we'll get to that one. We have our snow machines. The parts one, not going to do anything with that. We might get around to the backup. That one has a coolant leak and one of the spark plugs don't spark, so we'll see if we have to get a part for that. And then the primary snow machine that we use, I'm going to add a stronger hitch on because I do a lot of pulling with it and I've done some damage to the stock one that's there, so I'm getting a reinforced one on there. And then we were going to add a gun mount on it, and then we'll do the oil change to that. Sawmill, we're going to do an oil change. Truck just got an oil change, don't have to worry about that, but we are going to try and fix the exhaust issue. Then we have the side-by-side, which is going to get an oil change. I don't have the oil on that one on hand, but we'll see if we can get that by the end of this week. And then lastly, we have the tractor. Tractor we got up and running and started doing some dirt work. I pushed a larger parking area, and as I was pushing this back, I decided I didn't really care for it and listed online, got it sold. And prior to it selling, I was going to finish up some dirt work, so we didn't have a mound right here, and the clutch went out. And to get that clutch fixed, I would have to split the tractor in half, and I really just don't have the tools or equipment to be able to do that. So we ended up selling it as is and took a bit of a loss on that. So we're going to end up renting some equipment for this year to get what we need done for dirt. So that one's an unfortunate one, but we'll see what we can figure out for future projects.
So we changed our mind. We are going to do the generator first, being that it is new. We want to change out that oil right away.
Yeah, you got to run a cycle through it to clean it out, basically, from what I understand. So we'll do a quick change on that.
We're a little wobbly. We're the helpers today. Yeah. That's pretty flimsy.
Yeah.
When it's full of liquid, is that going to be hard to pick up?
I won't fill it all the way up. I'll just pour it in that every once in a while.
All right, pay attention. This is how we change the oil in a generator.
Yeah, you're doing the next one.
What do you think? What do you think, baby? Baby. Yeah. Alright, and...
Oop. A little extra.
I think that's pretty good. Oh, no, it's enough. It's definitely funny. Oh, okay. This is what I thought you wanted the funnel for. Was for this part.
No. It seems low on oil still. I might have to add more.
That's hard to tell.
Oh yeah, we're pretty high actually. We're a little high.
When you run it, does it change?
But
though?
it is tilted this way, so it'll be fine. That is one machine done. Move on to the next. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring these directions over there. There's a lot of steps to this.
Mm-hmm. Well, when they like printed it out for you, that was kind of a sign.
Yeah. Alright, next up is the snow machine. I'm gonna start with doing the oil change, so I gotta try and get underneath and get that oil plug out. And then I don't remember which side I can fill it from, but we'll see what we can find and get that filled up.
You don't have to.
Okay, so the oil's on this side. Uses Allen keys. That's stupid.
Yeah, I saw that on all of the like side bolts and stuff. We have
Well,
a
that
whole
doesn't surprise me, but just get to the oil plug, that's stupid.
We have that whole set though. We should have the right one.
Yeah. Okay, it's draining. Just gotta keep an eye on it.
That's probably the key.
Yeah, I did a little bit of damage to this before I had a receiver for this. I wrapped the chain around here and yanked on it and bent it pretty good. So when we get that part off, we'll probably bend it back. Oh yeah, I broke that up.
Okay, we're keeping these. What? Does that even fit?
Guess not.
It doesn't even fit. What is this for? It's too small for this one. It's too big for this one.
Yeah, it's starting to rain a bit.
I have found 3 that are different sizes that this doesn't fit any of them.
Yeah.
Do you have a bunch of torque things? Bits?
No, not really.
So how do you get this off?
That's an Allen key.
You can use the same an Allen key for these
Yeah, typically.
without breaking them?
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be little then.
Yeah, it is pretty little.
What is the point of this thing? What does it do?
I don't know.
Okay, this right here on top. This one.
Fits that.
It works for that one.
I'm sure it has to do something with changing the belt. Well, we let the machine sit overnight to drain all the oil good, and I checked the dipstick and it still says it's on the very low end of oil, so it definitely has not drained entirely. So I'm popping off the oil filter to see if that'll let any more out, and then I've tried tilting the machine a few different ways to see if more would come out, and it's not doing anything down below, so I might end up having to just turn it over a couple times just to see if maybe it'll pump it through. But first I'm going to pull out the oil filter and see what happens. It's a pretty tight squeeze in here, but I got the 3 screws out, and I'll pull this cover off. And that is full of oil still, so. And that oil is just sitting there, so I think I'm going to try and turn it over a little bit. Got the key installed now, and we'll try and turn it over and see if that oil drains down in there. Why does it just pump it out of the top? That's not what I want to happen. Well, it's definitely pouring out down below now though, so that's good. I probably just had to keep the filter cover on and do it a little bit. I'll let this drain a little bit more, and then I'll crank it a few more times and keep doing it until I don't see anything come out, I guess. That's more how I want it. I don't see anything on the dipstick, so I think we are pretty empty. So I'm going to climb underneath, get that plug back in place, put the filter in place, and then we'll fill it up here. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, ooh. Get in there. I did find that this tool you were confused about took the oil cover off.
It did?
Yep. All right. Now I got to put the plug back in the bottom and then fill it up. So the reason why that was so hard is because of these. Before I had the hitch, this goes on there, and I would stick a chain through and then put a bolt or something across the back to keep it from coming out. So it bent this, so it was rubbing, so I couldn't get it out. So I had to use the crowbar to be able to get that off. I'll have to go bang that straight.
Let's peek at what's going on.
I bent this inward so I can't fit it in there.
Oh.
And when I went to put these in there, both of the things stripped right out because it's just a cheap metal. I've got a few extra of these because the track's in the way up there to be able to fit them inside, so I'm not sure how to get to those. But it has 3 on each side on the tunnel. And then these ones on the end, I think I'm just cross-threading them because they're just, neither side goes in farther than that. And I think it's because this whole rail needs to go forward just a little bit to line it up, but it doesn't go back any further because there's pegs on the side that it sits onto, and so it doesn't allow it to go forward or backward any further than where it sits. So even on the inside, when I was putting these screws in, they're all had to go slight at an angle to get them into the holes, and then I was able to tighten them up. So I don't know if it's just, I don't know. I don't think anything's bent out of place that would cause this. It seems that it's just this isn't quite right or something. So, not quite sure what's going on there. But we'll move on to the gun boot and see if that goes easier. So the gun boot mounts on this off of here, and this I have to mount on the snow machine. So it uses the LinQ adapter, latch up in the top, and then I need to drill a couple holes here so that these will go in from the back side, and then this part screws on here and it sits on that. It comes with a spacer, but being I have this tow bar on here, I think I can just go without the spacer then, and it should be about the right spacing still. It looks to be the same. tight. I probably should have made these just over this way, just a smidge, but it's in there. I'm guessing I probably want it facing that way. Maybe somewhere like there, maybe. That was way more straightforward than that stupid rail. Not that one. That's this one. Because this thing is, I'm not happy with how that went on. But this went on super easy and perfect. I'm going to tackle the side-by-side. I don't have the oil for it because I've been trying to find a kit online that comes with the oil and the filter and all the new seals and rings. But everyone that I've found does not ship to Alaska. So I'll probably have to go to town and see if like Team CC or something has a kit. Otherwise, I'll just end up putting oil in there and having to order some parts separately and see if I can get them in. But in the meantime, I've got to replace the boot. I bought a boot kit because this one here, I just have duct tape on because there's a hole right through that boot, probably from a stick or something. So I put some duct tape on there just to keep dust and water out of it so it didn't cause any damage when I saw it this spring. And now that I've got the part, I will see if I can get it replaced. That's the brake. should just come out. Okay. There we go. Go. There we go. That's what we wanted. Take this ring off. So, on the one I looked at, right here in the top center, there's a snap ring that holds this on, and then you pull the snap ring off and this whole piece comes right off. But I can't get this piece off, which means I can't get the boot off. I think I just gotta hit it with a hammer. So there was a snap ring in here, but it was down below where you could see it or get at it. So I think it is just basically a friction fit, because looking at the ball bearings, it's like down inside that the ring for it is. So I had to use a little more force than I wanted and just bang it off, really. So I got that off, put the new boot on. I was going to replace this one too, but this one is a little bit too small to fit. So I put the wore out one up here. It has a spot where it's dented, but it's not broke through, so it's going to be fine for now. And now I got to put my bearings back in. I just wiped that out, and I'm going to put some grease in it, and then I'm going to start putting it back together.
Don't drop it.
I know.
Now I hear her crying.
Well, if you gotta go get her, that's fine. A couple layers on top. And then I think I'm just gonna try and hit it back down in there. That felt like it went in. All right, we are back in place.
It's like sludge.
Mm-hmm. Don't you fall out, any of you.
Do you want me to move this?
Not yet.
Maybe that'll help hold him in place.
That's why I'm putting it on there to try and hold these things in place so they don't fall out on me.
Just be really careful.
You can slide the boot up, but I'm gonna put.
I just don't want the balls to fall off.
Yeah.
Then go up further?
Let me put some more of the grease in the boot first, actually.
Oh, jeez. Careful with those balls still.
Look, now the boot can go up. And then I'll take the rest of this grease and put it in that end over there.
Okay.
So here, I'll pick that up and move it out of my way.
Like with what?
Just like that.
Whoa, okay.
Why are you not going in? So I'm pretty sure this arm is in my way of getting this back in, because I think I got to get it straight to get the balls to go through easier. So I just put up a come along up around this and chained it up here, so I'm going to try and lift it up with that. There we go. I don't have a thing for cinching this down, but I think if I grab another pair of pliers, I can grab here and grab the tail and pull it tight best I can. I think that's as tight as I'm getting that. It's one done. Now I gotta get the snap ring in there so that the ball bearings don't come out, and then do the same thing. Snap rings in place. I gotta get those clamps on there. I feel like there could be better clamps, like those ones that you screw tighten. But you probably have to put some like Loctite on them or something so they don't come loose. But these I just feel like I'm not getting as tight as I could. All right, brakes on, just got to get the tire on, and then we'll give it a shot, see how it works. Guess I'm just going to probably just drive it down the driveway and back and park it back here, see if the boots are still on, and then I'll just check them the next few days just to make sure they're still staying. And If they do end up coming off at all or slipping, I'll just get some hose clamps, I think, and just clamp it on there real good. Because these boot clamps, I don't really like them. But well, they most definitely come off when I turn, so hose clamps it is. But I'm gonna call it for tonight though. Go find those somewhere in the morning. It was almost 11:30 at night when I quit working on this yesterday, so I got snips to cut these off, and I've got some wire clamps, or sorry, pipe clamps to put on them. There's one band. There we go. Ooh, maybe. There it is. Nice. Okay. And I should be able to hit it with the drill. All right, that is not coming off now. I just got to do the same to the other one. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna start with just turning the wheels back and forth a few times, make sure it doesn't pop off, and then from there I'll drive forward a few feet, check it again, and then I'll take it down the driveway and back. Looks good. Last thing I'm going to tackle is this truck. So last fall I went and I hit a rock going up through Hatcher's Pass that I believe ripped my exhaust apart a little bit, and I believe what happened is I lost this ring from in between the bolts. I don't see any broken bolts, but I don't know if maybe it just came loose or not, so I got an extra ring, so it was only a couple bucks, and I'm going to climb under there, see if I can get it apart and see if that's the issue. There are two exhausts from the engine to the exhaust line, and I believe it's the one on this side, because when I run the engine it's a lot louder on this side. But we'll see if we can take a look and figure it out. So what I'm trying to replace is right here. I got to take out those bolts and see if I can get a replacement seal in there. You can see from when I caught the rock, I dented this and then it came straight back hit my exhaust here, which I believe caused my issue. And then back there, it cracked that right up in there, that little pan underneath. So I think that's all the damage that came from it. And we'll see if I can get up into this. Those bolts don't look like they'll be super easy to access. So yeah, I'll see if I can drop that out and reseat the ring in there. Well, I tried. I couldn't get it off. I had to put a deep well socket on there and then an extension so that my ratchet could fit, and then I put a breaker bar on there and I just could not break it loose. I'm sure if I put a pipe on here I might be able to bust it loose, but there's one of them that's hard to access that I have to have like a swivel joint there, and I just can't get the leverage with that. So probably need an impact wrench, I would assume, to get it off, but it doesn't really hurt anything, so it's probably just gonna stay that way. Just continue being loud. Well, that's gonna do it for this video then. We didn't get to do the oil on the side-by-side or on the sawmill. I will pick up oil next time we're in town, not sure when that will be, and I'm gonna pick up my tools and then get started on prepping for renting some equipment and clearing some land for our next project.